What's up, everybody? We are live. How's everybody doing? Sorry, we're a little bit late. We're trying to mess around with the camera. And of course, I only have to mess around with the camera 5 seconds before the show starts. We got a new camera. We're going to be hooking that up soon. Head's all dirty. Should have freaking. Anyway, I've been running like crazy since Friday, nonstop. We caught a flight, Zylan and I, Friday. There's sunburnt Millie. She's been playing in the sun all day. Friday night, Zylan and I loaded up onto an airplane, flew out to New Mexico all day Saturday. Busy. It was awesome. I got to spend time with my son. If you have been following us and you know who we are, we're a recovering addict, and I used to be a drunk. And during my drunk times, one of my kids left to go live with his mom in Washington for 2 years. He came back, some of you know, just very recently. And so this weekend was really nice. It was just me and him. We got to fly in an airplane together, experience some terrifying turbulence as we were landing into New Mexico, and it was quite fun. And we got to shoot some video. We got to help Steve Henry do his live stream, which was freaking awesome too. And then we flew home. We got up this morning at 4 a.m., caught an airplane off the ground by 6 a.m. and made it home just in time to pass out. Then I woke up and put this show together as fast as I could, because I had to, I basically, when I go out of town to help somebody with their videos and stuff, I tear down my whole studio. And so I had to bring it back, unpack everything. And we're all tired. We got but like 2 hours of sleep the whole weekend we were there. Got there late, got up early. And then Zylan and I ordered a pizza really late. For some reason, they canceled the order. Pizza never showed up for last night. So I didn't go to bed till about 1 o'clock, woke up at 4. Came home tired, put the studio back together, read the books, put this stuff together. And so today we are going to get into our book, Staying Sober by Terrence Gorski, just like we always do. We are on episode 10 of this series, going through this book, Staying Sober. Why are we going through Staying Sober? The whole gist of my program here at Recovering Addict is, and what we're doing locally, there's a lot of updates I'm going to let you in on what we are doing here, because there's going to be quite a few changes with the stuff that Felice and I are doing here locally. But we're going through this book because, you do your program, say you do 90 days at a program. Now what? Life continues after 90 days abstinence from drugs and alcohol. We have to learn how to deal with life on life's terms, and then all the abuse that's been done to our body, right? Our mind and our relationships. We have to start fixing that too. And then on top of that, because of what we did to our body is healing. And we go through this thing called post-acute withdrawal. And sometimes it's worse for others. Sometimes it's better for others. It just depends on you and what you've done to your body and how long you've used, how much you used, what you were using. And then the stress factor that plays into there is, what bridges did you burn along the way? Are you in trouble with the law? Everything just kind of piles up on itself, and you have to fix it all. And now we get these symptoms called post-acute withdrawal, and they're not the same for everybody, like I said. But if you're not aware of them, you don't know how to recognize them, you don't know how to battle them, it could lead you back to relapse, starting the process all over again. Or this day and age with fentanyl out there, your next shot could be your last shot. Just like Amy Winehouse, she went and drank herself to death on a relapse. We don't want that. That is what we do not want. And I'm wearing my shirt. Yeah. For all the fathers out there. Dad. It
says, wake up, Dad.
Wake up, Dad. I just woke up, so yeah.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. I'm glad you all are here. Here's an update for you. We are only going to go live on YouTube on Sunday nights. What we are doing now is, if you've been following us for this last year, you've seen me quit my job on base, pull out my retirement, put all my money into electronic equipment and moving some things that way, starting a business, turning Recovering Addict into a nonprofit. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We sold our house. We moved into an apartment. We are taking the capital off of our house, and we are meeting with a lawyer tomorrow at 3:30 so that we can figure out how we're going to open a business here and have a building for relapse prevention. And our idea is, like I just said before, you did your 90-day program. Now what? You got to learn new things, learn new hobbies. What do you like? You got to get to know yourself. We're going to learn how to hike. We're going to learn how to work out and eat and do all that kind of stuff, right? We're going to introduce each other to hanging out with each other, and we recover better together mentality. We're going to do pottery. We're going to paint. We're going to maybe we'll teach lessons on how to change tires. Who knows? But there's going to be ways to experience new things here at the place we're growing that you might like. And I was talking to Green Eyed Cat, and he was saying, a lot of times people come out of addiction and they just pick up on a hobby that they used to have, that they were starting to get into as kids or teenagers or in their mid-20s, and they'll pick back up on that, remembering how much they enjoyed it. And, we'll keep an open mind and go down those routes as well. And so all that being said is why we're reducing our live streams down to Sunday. And then I'm going to start doing Sean Larry is going to be editing content for us that we'll be uploading. And then I'll be doing extra content. We'll figure out how that's going to work, but that'll be uploaded weekly as well. So we'll still have that educational content being uploaded, whether it's reviews or reactions or anything like that. And then, as always, the Discord is going to remain the same. Gather as many people together every day, 1:00 Zoom meetings, because that's how we recover, right? We learn our program, we get to meet people, we get together, and we're going to talk about that because that's what helps us deal with post-acute withdrawal. One of the huge things that I got out of this book today, and as we are going to go through, is conditions that put you at high risk are lack of care for yourself and lack of attention to your recovery program. So right now, as we're getting this show started, think about this. How are you taking care of yourself mentally? What are you doing mentally? Today in the Discord at our 1:00 Zoom meeting, we were talking about meditation. And Mark brought up a bunch of great ways to meditate and what it means. And that went with the daily reflection on about how to meditate and listen and, and learning what to listen for. And I was talking about, quieting the mind from anything digital or anything chaotic and, meditating. What are you doing for your mind? What are you doing for your body? Are you still eating junk food? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you trying to figure out things to keep you healthy? And what are you doing with your relationships? Are you keeping healthy relationships? Are you still lying and sneaking around and doing things, living dirty while you're remaining clean from alcohol or drugs, right? And then your program, lack of attention to your program. What kind of program are you working? Are you working a good, honest 12-step program where you're working the steps with a sponsor and you're diligently working that every day? Are you doing any other type of program that's out there? The smart recovery, anything that's bringing mindfulness to you and where you're at in life and you're trying to better yourself. Where are you at in that process? Are you just still in the same old mindset and the same old way of thinking, going down the same old path you were on, even though the drugs and alcohol are gone? All that right here is what could put you in a high-risk situation, and that could lead to a relapse. And relapse is what we don't want. And that's why we're going through this book, Staying Sober. Relapse prevention. We want to prevent relapse, right? And so we're going to talk about post-acute withdrawal. We're going to talk about the different periods of it. You got regenerative, degenerative, stable, and intermittent. And we'll go through those here in just a second. But I'm going to sit back and let Felice say what's up there, buddy.
Intermittent. I think the winner tonight was Marilyn.
Marilyn was the winner. I seen it.
But we did lose that comment. So in number 2 is Cherie. Hello, Cherie. Nicole, you were so close.
Hello, Nicole, new prime minister in the Discord.
Yeah, congratulations. What is up, Mo? Good to see you here tonight. Hey, Soupy. Hey, everyone, says Marilyn. Who else we got in here? I saw Mr. Teeter. Hello. Y'all, good evening. Teeter says he misses the days where we'd go live every night.
Yeah, me too.
He says he's been looking forward to this all day.
Yeah, man, we're going to look back at all this times in our lives, the good old days and stuff as we continue to move forward.
Yeah. What's up, Jim? Good to see you here, Jim. Who else? I saw Merc. What's up, Merc?
Blurry, man.
Yeah.
What's stupid lens?
That one side.
And then there was pizza.
Many slices of pizza. That sounds really good, actually.
What's up, Shane?
Sergio. LT wouldn't know.
Samantha, thank you for sharing to Reddit, Twitter, and Facebook. Appreciate that. #ShareSquad.
Yeah, #ShareSquad. We got PD as always here. Happy Father's Day, says PD.
Yeah, PD, thank you.
Who else? Share Squad. PD's good for a Share Squad. What's
Thank
up,
you, PD?
Geesh? Terrence, good to see you. Feel like it's been a minute.
What up?
Who else do I see? Who else do I see? Mad in the house. What's
Thank
up,
you.
my dude and dudettes?
Yo, what's up,
So
Jeanette?
glad when Jeanette's here.
Me too.
Lots of chit chat. Adrian.
Hey, what's up, Adrian?
Who else? Leslie P. LP, as she is called in the Discord. There's LP. What's up, Sam? Good day to be sober. That is correct.
I'm into that.
Correct. I think I'm getting close to the end here. I think that's it. I think that's everybody. I think I caught them all. Patrice, happy Father's Day. Thank you. Not to me. I'm saying thank you for LT. He says thank you.
Thank you very much.
Share Squad. Very cool. I'm trying to be energetic in my voice, but I have canker sore on the side of my mouth, on my tongue, and it hurts really bad every time I talk. It's like rubbing against my teeth. So I'm trying not to talk funny because I feel like my tongue is swollen.
That sucks.
Feels weird. It's almost like having strep throat, but on my tongue. That's what it feels like.
Ugh.
Like everything that touches it just burns.
It's probably from allergies and everything swelled up in your face and you bit your tongue last night.
Probably. It's annoying. Brad, correction. Watching alive, trying to go back to sleep. Not used to the time. Did we do a different time?
Not used to the time. So where are you at, bro?
Yeah,
Give us a little catch up. Kiss it better.
Wait, this side.
Oh.
It feels so much better now.
How's that?
Problem solved.
Don't go back to sleep, Brad. We are on all night. We decided we're going to start going live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just kidding. Pittsburgh. He's out in Pittsburgh. Oh, that's cool.
State is Pittsburgh?
I have no idea. Anything west or east of Colorado, I have no clue
All
about.
I know is the Steelers. Pittsburgh and Steelers. That's the only two.
Ironwork.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I know.
Bye. Oh. Bye. Bye, Brad. Bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad. Love you. Oh, I was looking up some good news articles, right? Because I like to try to find good news.
Me.
And one that stuck out to me, and I didn't keep the article, but here's the gist of it. In Saudi Arabia, they are cracking down on capital punishment for drug offenses. So back in 2019, I believe they had 187 people put to death for drug offenses, and they're down to 48 this year. So one thing to be grateful for is we're not in Saudi Arabia and got caught with drugs, because you could be put on death row if you were. But they're cracking down so that we can see Saudi Arabia as being a little softer, as more conservative Saudi Arabians are emerging.
That sounded so weird.
It's weird, but I read it. It's out there.
When you
Look
say
it up.
Saudi Arabia, I see turbans and camels.
Yeah, that's them. And they kill people for drug offenses. They take that eye for an eye for murder, right? So if you murder somebody and they go to their book and they say eye for an eye, they give you the death penalty. But people that smuggle drugs in, they consider it to be killing people. So they kill those people as well. Which, I don't know. What's that Tool song?
I feel like
There's only
you would know
consequences
it.
because we only get caught. If there weren't any consequences to our actions, what would we really do?
It's good questions.
I don't know. But that's pretty crazy. Out in the good news. So our Kindle 24-hour a day for June 20th. Here's our AA thought of the day. You should be ready and willing to carry the AA message when called upon to do so. That being said, drop in the comments in 4 or 5 words, what is the AA message? Right? The 12 steps, 12th step. How are you willing? How are you ready to deliver this message? And if I asked you, what's the message? Do you know what it is? Live for some purpose greater than yourself. Each day you will have something to work for. I love that. If you live for a purpose that's greater than yourself, every day you're going to have something to work for. You've received so much from this program that you should have a vision that gives your life a direction and purpose that gives meaning to each new day. I posted a picture that I stole from somebody on Facebook that it was a quote. It was like, the purpose of life is to find your gift, and the meaning of life, or vice versa, is to give that gift away, right? So our lives, we've all been blessed with a certain talent and a gift. Every one of us is unique and special. There's no doubt about that. Every millions of persons out there are. You find your gift and then you give it away. And if each and every one of us found our gifts and we gave it away And I took care of her, and that was my importance in life, is to take care of her, and her importance in life was to take care of me. How much better would the world be if we all treated each other? We loved our brothers and sisters, right? We loved our neighbors as we loved ourselves. That's the message, maybe, but that is the purpose. That's what we've received from this program. And so that's the vision of our life. So let us not slide along through life. Let us have purpose for each day. Let us make that purpose for something greater than ourselves. What is my purpose for today? And I bet my mic is hot.
Hot mic. We got a hot mic.
All right. That should sound a little better, I hope. All right. So here's our meditation for the day. To see God with eyes of faith is to cause God's power to manifest itself in the material world. To see God with eyes of faith is to cause God's power to manifest itself in the material world. God cannot do his work because of unbelief. In response to your belief, God can work a miracle in your personality. All miracles happen in the realm of personality and are caused by and based on belief in God's never-failing power. But God's power cannot manifest itself in personalities unless those personalities make his power available by their faith. We can only see God with the eyes of faith, but this kind of seeing produces a great change in our way of living. And our prayer today is, I pray that I may see God with eyes of faith. I pray that seeing will produce a change in my personality. Me too.
Sure. Jim says, I will stay sober and do all I can to help others achieve and keep sobriety.
Amen. Millie.
Sarah Jo said, recover out loud for those suffering in silence.
Take our picture from right there.
Yes. Nicole says, heard a lot about the 12th step in real life meeting Friday. It's important to help others when they cannot help themselves. And Jeanette said that they lost someone in their home group today. Sad.
Oh, okay. That sucks. Man, speaking on losing people, so the people that lived across the street from us, you've heard maybe very little about them, but they're my best friends outside of recovery. And we experienced a tragedy together that day that Link and all the kids were in the accident. Their kids were involved. My kids were involved. But today they're out there at Pine View. Pine View is a reservoir we got where people go and boat and swim and have a good time. And they experienced a freaking other tragedy. They hear screaming for help. Help, help, help. So they run around and they're trying, and these people are clear out on a boat. So all they can do is dial 911. Life flight comes in, search and rescue, but the dad jumps into the water and they're trying to save the kid. The dad ends up drowning. And now, man, it just broke my heart because I'm thinking this morning, they get up, they're all happy. It's Father's Day. Maybe they made the guy breakfast. Hey, let's go to Pine View. Let's go swimming. They're going swimming. And now they're at home tonight with no dad. And it's just, my heart's been heavy since that story hit.
They seem to experience lots of tragedies.
Yeah.
As friends of ours. This is crazy.
Now that everybody's sad, I'm sorry.
Now what? The struggle bus is real. And with God, I'm making it through
Let it
with
go. It's not done yet.
seconds at a time. Atta girl, Brittany. It's okay. Mad says I puke when I see Brad.
Poor Brad. We love Brad.
Shut up, Mad.
Aw, poor sad mad Brad.
It's tragic.
Yeah, please. Yeah, Sam, please lift him up in prayer. There's one of those things, my buddy, he reaches out and texts me and it's just like, I was like, I'm sorry you had to go through that, bro. I love you. I'm here for you. Like, what else can you say? You just let people know you love them and you're there for them.
Dang, Sarah Jo, you lost someone today too? What the heck, Millie?
Millie got herself a Polaroid camera.
Months. Holy cow.
Dang it.
She's got lots of special moments to capture.
13 and 18 months? My goodness, like one a month, Sarah. That's sad.
That's crazy.
How's it going with you anyway? Give us a little update on how you're doing.
Brittany says Sydney is moving to a professional foster care home next Friday. Hopefully she enjoys it there and all goes well, Brittany.
Yep, in our prayers.
He was a sweetheart, lost in addiction. You lost one in addiction. Jeanette did. That dude. Yeah, prayers for everyone. Shree says hi, Millie Moo.
Right there. She got to take a picture of that, Cherie. Hold on. So post-acute withdrawal. While Millie's taking a picture of that.
Oh, sorry.
These symptoms, right? There are symptoms that we're going to go through years after we've remained abstinent from alcohol and drugs. Think of it as like a big giant slice in your wound, in your arm, right? And say you cut your tendons all the way down through some veins. The doctor had to get in there and sew everything shut, hook your tendons back up, sew your skin together to get your functionality back in your fingertips. You know, that, think of how long that would take in the therapy you would have to go through to regain the use of your arm, right? All the abuse that we've done with the alcohol and chemicals into our body is the same effect. So a couple years later, we experience symptoms of this withdrawal. Post-acute withdrawal symptoms are not the same in everyone. They vary in how severe they are and how often they occur and how long they're going to last. Some people experience particular symptoms. Some people have other symptoms, and some people, lucky for them, have none at all. So over a period of time, post-acute withdrawal may get better or it may get worse.
Yeah, I don't want to start.
She didn't turn her dial.
I got to turn the dial.
She had to do a do-over.
So it may get better or it may get worse, right? It may stay the same. It may come and go. So if it does get better, say you quit today, 2 years from now, and it just continues to get better and better and better, we call that regenerative, right? Regenerative. If it gets worse, we call it degenerative. If it stays the same, we call it stable. And if it comes and goes, we call it intermittent, right? So you got like four basic symptoms that have to do with post-acute withdrawal: regenerative, degenerative, stable, and intermittent. Now, regenerative post-acute withdrawal gradually improves over time. The longer a person is sober, the less severe the symptoms become. It is easier for people with regenerative post-acute withdrawal to recover because the brain rapidly returns back to normal. That's a good thing. Just gets better, your brain returns back to normal, and it's easier to stay clean. Degenerative is the opposite. Now, don't read into this and say, oh, that's me, everything just keeps getting worse, because more than likely it's not. The symptoms get worse the longer a person is sober. And this happens when a person is going to AA and are following some type of recovery program. This does happen in a few people. People with degenerative post-acute withdrawal tend to become relapse prone. Sobriety becomes so painful, they feel that they must self-medicate the pain with alcohol or drugs. They could collapse physically or emotionally or commit suicide just to end the pain. That's a bad one to be in, but it is manageable, and you can turn that one around, and we'll talk about that in a minute too. A person with stable PA experiences the same level of symptoms for a long period of time into recovery. There may be days when the symptoms are a little better or a little worse, but essentially the symptoms remain unchanged. Most recovering people find this very frustrating. So if you're experiencing the stable kind, it's frustrating because you feel like you believe that you should be feeling better, right? God, I've been sober for 2 years. I should be feeling better by now. But with sufficient sober time, many people learn to manage these symptoms. And you got to realize, I mean, this is what we've done to ours. This is just another out of all the things we got to be upset about. I mean, this is another one of them, right? To be mad at ourselves. We have to get over the guilt, the shame, all that kind of stuff, kicking yourself in the pants. This is what we did to ourselves. 5 years of pounding whiskey is a reason for a lot of the health issues I'm going through right now. And I'm trying to figure out and trying to get better as we speak. A lot of you know that I've done the sleep study test. I have to sleep with the machine. And even though I've had it for 4 nights, I haven't had a really good night with it yet, but I've got the mask on. It's force feeding me oxygen at night. And I am starting to feel better from that. But it sucks. I got to put this stupid thing over my face and sleep with it at night, and I blame that on alcohol, because before that, when I was into fitness up into my 30, 35, maybe it's age, I don't know.
You're old. What are you, like
Yeah, I just turned 42. Good lordy,
42.
that's freaking old. But still, you know, I mean, that's like, God, man, that's 5 years I wasted. That's 5 years I jacked up my liver. That's 5 years I didn't take care of my body. I got overweight and all, you know, all this stuff is just stuff we have to deal with because of what we've done to ourselves. With intermittent post-acute withdrawal, the symptoms come and go. Initially, people with intermittent symptoms will appear to experience a regenerative pattern. In other words, their symptoms rapidly get better. But then they begin to experience a periodic post-acute withdrawal episodes that can be quite severe. It's up and down. Oh, it's getting better. You know, a month or so, bam, all of a sudden you're having these episodes. And for some people, the episodes get shorter and less severe and farther apart until they stop altogether. In others, they occur periodically throughout life. You know what I mean? If you chop off your finger, the rest of your life, you're not going to have a finger, you know, if they couldn't sew it back on or whatever. And that's something they have to deal with the rest of their life. They chopped off their finger. We have hurt ourselves inside and out, depending on, it's subjective to the person, to you, what you did, how much you've done, the relationships you've burned, all that kind of stuff, right?
Jim said he'd trade you your 5 years for his 27.
No, thank you. Hindsight's 2020. No,
Michelle's
thank you.
glad you got your PAP machine.
Yeah, me too, man. It's weird. I don't know if anybody out there sleeps with one, but if you don't, this is what you can expect. A freaking
Your wolf's
and
number?
they've what?
What is that? What is this? W wolf's WPH.
I can't remember.
Oh,
what per hour? My stop breathing.
Oh, okay. Anyways, continue on.
They've made them very comfortable, from what I hear. I have the latest, greatest machine that's out on the market. I got the nicest little head mouth set, but still, right? It straps to your head, covers just this area right here around your mouth and nose. And then mine's not a CPAP, it's an APAP, so it's automatic. I start off at pressure 5 as soon as I lay down, so it's just barely air coming in as I'm laying there, just breathing normal. But throughout the night, as I start falling asleep and everything starts loosening up, and I start to have the whatever it's called,
disruptions.
Disruptions. Events. That's what they call them. Events, to where my throat collapses and I can't breathe. It senses it and starts up in that forced air pressure. And by, 2 hours into sleeping, I'll wake up and it's at a 16. It went from pressure 5 to pressure 16. My cheeks are puffed out. My mouth is completely dry, and it is force feeding me oxygen, man. It is crazy, which is kind of good, like just having all that good oxygen forced into your body when you've been choking and not, and your oxygen level should be up around 94. And mine were down in the low 80s. And so that's just not good for your brain. But, I screwed up. I became an alcoholic. I abused my body with meth, cigarettes, and alcohol. I mean,
yeah,
I did it to
that's
myself.
some crazy stuff. Update on Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
I am doing good, struggling bad emotionally, but staying clean. Overwhelmed, and things are happening fast, but they're positive things. I'm kind of doing exposure therapy on the fast track by coming back to this city. On the streets, I made it a point to know everybody, and when I was on the streets, it was literal. Bad things happened behind closed doors, so I'd stay awake and stay moving for a week to 2 weeks at a time. I have memories everywhere and know everybody. Now I'm healing from a lot, but I don't know what the but is.
I love your awareness, Sarah. You have a real good grasp on high risk situations. You know where you're at, which is a good sign because you know what to do to avoid any high risk type of situations that could cause you to use. Another thing is, how is your relapse prevention that we went over those couple of times? How's that working out for you? Allie, I love you too.
Glad you got up work early.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so this paragraph says these patterns, right? So those 4 patterns, regenerative, post-acute withdrawal gets better. Degenerative, it seems, and it does get worse, right? Or stable, it kind of just stays the same. Or intermittent, it kind of comes and goes, and kind of follows a path of a trend down to where it gets better and the episodes get further apart. These patterns, they describe people who have not had treatment for post-acute withdrawal. Now we're talking about this because we need to educate ourselves. Maybe we just barely got sober and we don't know what the heck's going on with our body. We did a 90-day program. We become aware. We're starting to say sorry to people, but we don't really understand what's happening with us, the healing process physically. And these are patterns people experience that haven't had treatment. And so we're going to go on through the rest of this book on how to be able to recognize and treat ourselves for post-acute withdrawal. Why? Because we are trying to prevent relapse. That's what we're trying to avoid here. And the more you know, the more you understand, the more self-aware you are, the more successful sobriety is going to be for you.
What's up, Marlon?
Traditional treatment does not address these symptoms because until recently, they haven't even been recognized. So if you know what to do and you are willing to do it, degenerative, the one that gets worse, degenerative post-acute withdrawal can be changed into stable, and stable can actually be changed into regenerative, and regenerative into intermittent, which is what you want to go through. Intermittent's good because it's a trending down. They get further apart, these little episodes. Becoming aware and understanding how to deal with them, you can overcome them and they will get better through life. It's just like knowing what to do if you have allergies, right? If you don't know why your eyes are itching and your nose is running in the summertime, you're just going to constantly be a slobbering mess. But if you understand, oh, I'm allergic to pollen, I'm allergic to oak bush or whatever, right? Or the cottonwoods, then you know what type of Claritin or histamine blocker you need to take so that next summer you can get through it with very few allergy attacks. And that's basically the same thing when it comes to understanding your post-acute withdrawal. It's subjective. What have you done to your body? How long did you do? What did you do? What effects does it have on your brain? And how did it personally affect you? And that's what you're going to start looking for as we continue our life of sobriety.
Sarah says she uses her relapse prevention all the time.
Sweet.
And she has a recovery coach.
Yes,
and
tools.
Making Discord meetings.
I love it.
Atta girl.
You got tools in your tool belt, use them. Sharpen your knives. Keep your tool belt loaded, clean, and full. And continually add tools to it all the time. Marlon Lando, I hear you there. Still can't sleep. Whew. Is that just tonight or is that a post-acute withdrawal thing you're going through? Roger, welcome to the show. Glad to see you. And if you don't know, now you know, we do have a Discord. It's 24-hour day support. Every day we have a recovery Zoom meeting at 1 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time via Zoom. We jump in, we read the Just for Today, and sometimes we get downright and at it, and talk recovery, get into some problems, and get a lot of heavy stuff off our hearts. Some days where everybody's just having a great day, and we just enjoy one another's company and get to see what's like in a different part of the state or the country or the world. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Anything?
I concur. Nope, everybody's saying hi to everybody. The newbies. Landon says he just joined.
Awesome, Landon. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Also, if you were on Steve Henry's show last night and you ended up winning money, make sure that you send him your contact info. What reminds me of is Kyle, Mr. I know everything about shrimp. He's all their shrimp. He asked Steve asked one question about shrimp, and then Kyle's all there's shrimp kebabs, there's shrimp to-dos, there's shrimp.
Like Bubba Gump.
Bubba Gump, man. Kyle was our very own Bubba Gump last night on the Steve Henry show.
That's awesome.
He won $200, Teeter.
Yeah, he won twice, huh?
Yeah.
You're fast fingers, Kyle.
Kyle's like, I know my shrimp.
I bet that shrimp looked delicious.
He's all shrimp and guns. What else there? What else do you need to know?
Nothing. That's all you need in life is shrimp and guns.
So the most common, what do you think the most common pattern of post-acute withdrawal? You got regenerative. Why am I having such a hard word the other day? Regenerative, which gets better. Degenerative, which gets worse. You got stable and intermittent, right? You got the 4 types of post-acute withdrawal. Which do you think is the most common out of those 4? Rodriguez, he's dropping some shrimp.
Me too, Geesh. I was on Team Geesh.
No, I don't do the shrimp.
Team Geesh.
I don't eat anything on the ocean, out of the ocean at all, especially bottom dwellers that eat all of the bottom of the ocean. That's even worse. But my son's island, he was like, as soon as the cameras were off, he's like, give me one.
But
They were
good.
big, flappy. I mean, they were like that.
Especially on
They were like that big,
like
man.
that.
They
I
were
bet
huge.
marinated shrimp are the bomb.
We go to that hibachi house sometimes. You know, when the dude flicks the shrimp at you, you're like, catch your shrimp. I'm like, nope. He's like, seriously? Like, he's offended. I won't try to catch his stuff out of midair. I'm like, I ain't catching that garbage. I'm like, throw her too.
We're both offended. We're like, what?
Funny story. We were at a hibachi house and he's like, how do you want your steak? And I don't mean this to be ignorant, but this is how he said it. Okay. I'm like, well done. He's like, you want beef jerky? You go to Maverick. I cook your steak for you. I was like,
That's
okay.
exactly
Yes,
what
sir.
he said. You go to Maverick. Oh, last night was the Steve Henry show. If you missed it, Jeanette, that's what Zion and LT went to New Mexico for. So go back to Steve Henry's channel and watch it. He made shrimp.
Yeah. So Steve Henry does his live stream cooking show every Saturday at 4. He flew Zion and I out there because his videographer was out of town, and we helped him produce his live stream. And he made this giant 4-tier pineapple cocktail shrimp thing where like the cocktail sauce comes out of the shrimp out of the pineapples into a half of a lime, and then all these shrimp were attached to it. And you just, if you like that sort of thing, it looked delicious for those types of people, but not me.
I bet that marinade took like that fishy taste out of it, so it was just good.
That's what everybody says.
I bet it was good.
You know what everybody's told me my whole entire life? Like, LT, do you like fish? I'm like, no, I hate it. Well, you've never had mine. What? It's still a dang fish and it still tastes like crap. What's the difference between yours and theirs?
Actually, prawns. We've been corrected.
Oh, damn it. See, there he goes again. Yeah, they were prawns. They were
on the
huge.
Bobby.
Are shrimp smaller? Is that why?
I have no idea. Ask Kyle.
Is it because shrimps are smaller or what? Shrimp. Hey, shrimp. Tiny people, shrimp. No. All right. So nobody's answered the question yet.
No, somebody did.
Who?
Stable.
Nicole says stable.
Jim
The
said
most common,
intermittent.
nope, is actually regenerative. The most common one is it gets better over time. And that's without treatment. The body wants to heal. I don't know if you guys have seen that documentary on Netflix, but there's one where this guy has all kinds of pills. He's taking high blood pressure stuff. And so he juices all these fruits and vegetables for a few months. And that was his main thing. He's like, the body wants to heal. You just got to give it the vitamins it needs. And by the end of this little show that he was making, he was off all his prescribed medications. Now, I'm not telling you to go do that. You get with your doctor and you do what you need to do.
Right.
But it's just our bodies want to heal. They're constantly in a state of healing. We go to sleep. That's what our body does. It heals. That's why we need to sleep. We give it the food and oxygen and the body fuel it needs. It's going to heal. And so if we are doing those types of things, we're going to heal. Things are going to get better over time.
So if you guys didn't know, LT does eat 2 types of fish. He eats tuna fish and fish sticks.
I do eat tuna fish sandwiches with lots of sriracha sauce and mayonnaise.
So
Marlon's hungry now. I know I'm getting hungry now too, dang it. 2 years of pause for me, and every few months I would improve. Yeah. Are we having a Discord meeting after the show? Allie could use one. Let me text Brad. Brad's in
he's in Pennsylvania. No,
Pittsburgh,
Pennsylvania, right?
I'll let you know here in just a second, Allie. But is there anybody else out there willing to host a late night meeting and have a chit chat with Allie tonight? I'm not sure that I will be able to make it. I got catching up to do since our whole weekend was in New Mexico this weekend.
So yeah, follow up. What are post-acutes?
2 years of post-acutes, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. It's really perspective. So Marlon, I don't know what your story is. And if you're here because you were a drug addict and you're looking to get clean, or you have been clean for a while, I don't know how long you abused yourself, but there's a period of time after you stop doing drugs or drinking alcohol, like an alcoholic, that your body has to heal. And there are symptoms that are involved with that. Lack of sleep. We get irrational. We get mood swings. We don't see reality. We overreact to things. We underreact to things. We feel super emotional. And then all of a sudden, sometimes we're super numb, which all are a part of post-acute withdrawal. And we're going to learn about post-acute withdrawal. And right now we're learning about the different little types of them. And we're going to go into explaining how to deal with these so that after the rest of our lives, we can prevent relapse. This is a whole channel dedicated to helping you prevent relapse. This day and age, you don't know what you're going to do. Next shot could be your last shot, could be filled with fentanyl. You smoke weed, that could lead you to drinking. Drinking could lead you to take, you know what I mean? When I was drinking, anytime that I had a good pint of whiskey in me, if you brought any drug in front of me, I'd have done it. And I did do it.
Panic attacks part of post-acute withdrawal?
Absolutely. Panic attacks can be part of it. Absolutely.
Yes, there will be a Zoom meeting after this.
And what we're going to learn is that it's not the situation that makes you go to pieces. It's your reaction to the situation. So you might have these panic attacks and you react a certain way because you don't understand why you're having the panic attack, for one, and then you don't know how to act during the panic attack. So say you've been put in a stressful situation. There are tons of stressful situations you can avoid in the world, but there are some you can't. And understanding how you're going to deal with a stressful situation is going to make you more successful in your life, in your sobriety, right? It's not the situation that makes you go to pieces. It's your reaction to the situation. Understanding yourself, understanding what you're going through is going to help your reaction in these types of situations. And that's what we're learning about here today. The most common post-acute withdrawal is regenerative. Over time, becomes intermittent, and then it gradually gets better and better until the symptoms disappear. And then sometimes it comes and goes. The first step is to bring post-acute withdrawal symptoms into remission. This means bringing them under control so you are not experiencing them at the present time. Okay? You start having a panic attack. You have to learn how, and we're going to learn all this stuff together, how to bring it into remission, right? So that you can get it under control in that present moment. Then the goal is to reduce how often they occur throughout your life, right? You say you have 7 panic attacks a day. During those 7, we're going to learn how to throttle them back, an old aircraft expression, throttle them back, put it into remission. And then tomorrow only experience 5. And then the next day only experience 3. The next day 2, and so on and so forth until you're weeks and weeks apart from panic attacks.
Thank you, Marilyn. Much appreciated all the time.
Oh, thank you, Marilyn. So the goal is to reduce how often they occur and how long the episodes last. I know when I first quit drinking, I would go through times when I would just flare up inside with anxiety, overwhelmed fear, or anger. And I would literally have to just go lay down for a minute and just force myself to think. Like, that's one of the things you do. You can go meditate, change your mind, like we've always taught here. You can't control your first thought, but you can control your second one. The first thought may lead you into a panic attack, but your second, third, fourth, and fifth thought can talk you out of it. It may take a minute and it's going to be hard work, but it's possible. And that's what I used to do. I'd have these little fits inside myself. I'd go in the bedroom and I would force myself to think differently. And as soon as it started reverting back to those negative thoughts, I'd force it back into the thoughts that I wanted it to think. And then you wait for that chemical that's released, the adrenaline, whatever the thought produced inside you to have your rapid heart rate. And then you do that until that finally just leaves the body. Because it does. It's like water going through a strainer. The water eventually will disperse from that strainer. And just like these emotions and hormones, they'll eventually disperse from the body. You just have to force yourself to think on different things and wait for that episode to get over.
I've read a really good diet can help reduce and shorten the time of pause. Is that true?
Absolutely. The body wants to heal. If say you're a meth addict, you come off of meth, and this doesn't really matter anything, right? Addict or not, as far as meth or heroin or alcohol goes. But all of a sudden you come off, you're not drinking any water. So therefore your body's still in a state of dehydration, because alcohol dehydrates the crap out of you. And, meth, you ain't eating no good food. If you ever, maybe saltine crackers once or twice a week. Heroin, you know what that's doing to you. And so you come off right and you're not giving your body the fuel that it needs, the hydration, the nutrition. How is it going to function properly so that you can overcome these post-acute withdrawal? If you're hydrated, you're drinking, 3/4 of a gallon of water every day, you're getting good 3 meals with vitamins and nutritions in it, your body's going to heal, which is going to help these hormones balance out in your mind and in your body. So yeah, absolutely. A good diet is essential if you want to get over this stuff quick. Zoom link is in the Discord, Teeter. Come on, man. If you can't get with the Discord, that's where the heartbeat of recovering addicts at, bro. So very proud of you, LT, sharing this stuff. It's saving lives. So thank you, Michelle. That makes me feel good. Just like our meditation today, we give back because we were given too. And that's, if we can help somebody that can help somebody else too. And hopefully the information we teach here, you can maybe write it down or remember it, and then you can go teach somebody else. It's given us tools for ourselves, but then it's given us tools to give to others as well. So you must remember that even when you are not experiencing them, there are always a tendency for them to occur. You may not be experiencing it, but right around the corner, you might get smacked upside the head with one. So it is necessary to build a resistance against them and an insurance policy that lowers the risk. An insurance policy that lowers the risk. If this occurs, what am I going to do? You got insurance on your car just in case you get in a car wreck, right? And so what do? You go to work, you pay a monthly fee, and you got insurance for the possibility of a wreck. So how do you get an insurance policy on a post-acute withdrawal? Just like we did with Sarah, just like we did with this other Jake that's here locally, not Jake Brown, a different Jake. We showed him how to write out a relapse prevention. In this type of situation, if this is if this is the emotion I experience, this is what I'm going to do. And that's writing out a relapse prevention plan. You write your goals, you write what triggers you, you write what your behaviors are, you write your support system, and then you number your support system from the first person that you would, if you just default, I'm going to grab the phone, I'm going to call somebody for support. The first person you call, that's the first person on your list. If they don't answer, who would be the next person you call? That's the second person on your list, so on and so forth, all the way down the list. And then, so when you're in these situations, that type of thing happens, either a trigger or a behavior that you see, you go straight to your support list and you start down the list until somebody answers, and you talk your way out of it. And we're going to talk about all that here in just a second. Insurance on recovery. That's right.
Yeah, we're glad you're back, Jim. You guys brought me back from my darkness, and I love you all for it. This group will save us if we let it.
Hey, man. And Jim, it's awesome having you there, because you do have just a boatload of information, or wisdom, I should say, wisdom with your walk in recovery.
27 years. No. Yeah.
Well,
no, 10 years.
That's what's so cool about a group of people that recover. We recover better together. Why? Because if all you did was heard me, you would only hear me. And then all of a sudden you hear like a little twist on something you're going through from Fleece's point of view, or Kyle's point of view, or Jim's point of view. And Jim just offers this other angle to recovery that's just needed. We all need each other. And it's weird because when we're in a Zoom meeting, one of us is not there. You can feel it. You know what I mean? And that's why home groups are so important, to get really to know each other so that we know how to care for each other. Amen there. The less you do to strengthen yourself against an episode of a post-acute withdrawal, the weaker your resistance becomes. The less you do to strengthen yourself, the weaker you're going to become. If you sit on the couch and you do nothing for the next 6 months, are you going to be able to go out and run up 5 flights of stairs? Or if you go out every day and run up 5 flights of stairs, how easy is it going to be to run up 5 flights of stairs in a month or two? Right? It's the same thing. It's like a tetanus shot. This is what Terrence Gorski says. He goes, it's like a tetanus shot. The longer it's been since you've had one, the more risk there is that you'll become seriously ill if you cut yourself on a piece of rusty metal. It's like doing a 90-day program and stopping because you've got 90 days under your belt, and that's that whole taking your antibiotics, right? You're supposed to take one antibiotic pill for 10 days to get over strep throat. Day 5, I feel great. Why do I need to take the rest? You don't finish your cycle of your antibiotics and the strep throat comes back. It's because you stopped taking it too soon. You got to continue throughout the whole program, right? You got to work your program. You got to stay committed to it. And diligence is part of that. Understanding diligence. Everybody should go home. I'm sure I'm not saying that you don't know, but just look up diligence and then start researching topics about diligence, what diligence does for people who get gold medals at the Olympics, people who become successful business owners, people who stay sober for 27 years. Diligence, right? Conditions that put you in high risk of experiencing post-acute withdrawal symptoms are usually lack of care of yourself. I got this as a banner. Conditions that put you at high risk, lack of care of yourself, and lack of attention to your recovery program. What is your recovery program? And have you been lacking in it? If so, it's never too late to start over. You can start right this minute. And if you're here watching the show, that's good. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, glad you're here.
What?
Jeanette and Jim do weird stuff in West Virginia.
West Virginians.
It's West Virginia Day.
Is it really?
Yeah. She said, "Did you put Mountain Dew and pepperoni rolls for the Mothman?"
I saw that meme.
He said, "No, I did RC Cola and moon pies."
I saw the meme
Ditto.
about the other one.
They're so weird.
I liked RC. We used to have RC out here.
Yeah, what happened to RC Cola?
It's down in New Mexico. It's Circle K. So if you're going to recover, listen to this, okay? Pay attention to these last 2 paragraphs before this is over. If you're going to recover without relapse, you need to be aware of stressful situations in your life that can increase your risk of experiencing post-acute withdrawal. You have to be aware of the stressful situations in your life. Since you cannot remove yourself from all stressful situations, you need to prepare yourself to handle them when they occur. It's not the situation that makes you go to pieces. It is your reaction to the situation. Because stress triggers and intensifies the symptoms of post-acute withdrawal can be controlled by learning to manage stress. You can learn to identify sources of stress and to develop skills in decision making and problem solving to help reduce stress. Listen to this. You can learn to identify sources of stress. You can develop the skills in decision making and problem solving. Stress. How am I going to make a decision? How am I going to solve problems? Understanding the skills to make decisions and to solve problems are going to help you reduce stress. What is that going to do? It's going to keep you healthy and wealthy and wise type thing, right? Stress is related to getting cancer. That's not good for you. Stress causes people to give up. Stress causes people to relapse, right? Skills. We got to start working on our skills. Let's work on our program, learning how to become problem solvers and decision makers. And Lando, was it you that asked about the diet?
Yeah.
Terrence Gorski says proper diet, exercise, regular habits. What the heck are those? A positive attitude all play important roles. Okay? A proper diet, eat well, give your body the fuel it needs. Exercise, get the blood flowing. The body needs it. Regular habits, wake up at the same time, go to bed at the same time. Try to get into habits of things. Healthy habits. And then a positive attitude. How do you gain a positive attitude? Go put yourself around people with positive attitudes. I'll reach out and I'll help people, and I love helping people, but if somebody's always just a negative person constantly, I keep my distance a little bit from those people. If they need my help, I'm there to help and love and support. But I'm not going to sit in a room with them when all they talk about is the rain. I was thinking about this today. It's too. Are you an it's too kind of person? Oh, it's too hot. Oh, it's too cold. It's too this. It's too that. Always looking, I try
hair is
not to
too
be,
dry.
because I have a tendency to be negative. I have a tendency to be critical of people, and I try not to be that way. I don't want to be like that. So I try to continue the information I put in my eyes and my ears of positivity stuff.
I was watching a show the other day and they were like in a bad town or whatever that they both hated, but the husband's he said his defense mechanism was positivity. So he tried to make the whole experience positive even though he hated every second of it. I was like, that's me.
Did it work?
They ended up moving back to their old town.
Nice.
But he tried. He tried to be so positive. He's like, it's my defense mechanism.
Another thing that can help is relaxation. Relaxation can be used as a tool to retrain the brain to function properly and reduce stress. Think about everything that's in that situation. Relaxation is a tool. What? Does that mean us addicts don't relax? Do we have a hard time sitting and relaxing? Always busy, always involved into something. How about just chill and relax? That could be a tool. That's a skill, right? And what does that help to do? Retrain the brain. Retrain the brain. Why does my brain need to be retrained? What have you been doing the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years in addiction? What has your brain been trained to do? Living in survival mode. Survival mode because of trauma and sexual abuse as a child, and trauma and is experienced from tragedies and deaths in your life. And now you're just survival mode to not deal with pain, right? That's where your brain's been trained. Now we need to retrain the brain to function properly. And that's going to reduce stress.
Can I teach you a breathing exercise?
Joni, how you doing?
Square breathing. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, breathe normally. For 4 seconds each.
4 seconds each, square breathing. Little brought to you by Linky Weaver.
I like this meme from Jeanette. It says, be so positive that negative people don't want to be anywhere around you.
That's like that's what they say. They're too positive.
I'm going to go be grumpy and negative over here.
You guys go on.
Next Sunday, we're going to talk about 5 ways that we are going to deal with this. Things that are going to help educate and retrain, self-protective barriers. We're going to talk about nutrition. We're going to talk about stabilization, verbalization, venting, how to work with a unit, a program to get over these types of things, right? We're a team. Us recovering addicts are a team. We recover better together. We can rely on each other. Like Allie, she said, hey, can we have a late night Zoom? I'm struggling. We can jump in, open Zoom and talk. That's what we do. We recover better together.
Who are we not?
Who are we not?
God.
Grant me the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Amen.
Until next Sunday night, you guys do not put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong, work your program, and remember, we recover better together.